Metafix is a show that teaches you how to think in the metagame. I am not here to give you the answers, nor am I going to tell you how to win. Metafix teaches you how to play in the metagame and how to react around the metagame and what is in the metagame. If you're looking for the answers, try HC Realms, check the forums, they have all kinds of neat toys and tools and teams being brought up, and check the results of a lot of the ROC tournaments or any Worlds tournaments to see how teams played out and what teams were used for. I'm just here to help you think.
I'm talking hypothetical and philosophy today. Today's topic, it's going to be a weird one. Some of you might not get. It's how the conversation can form the meta. Now, I try to get this across in Metafix, and I don't think some of the guys who watch the show, or even in case some of the guys on the show, understand what I'm saying when I say some of these things. The idea that something exists, or the existence of something, can affect the greater portion of the game. Now, bear with me as I try to explain this. A little while back, a little figure came out in Deadpool called Copycat. Now, she made a bit of noise with regards to being used with the New Mutants team base. Some players played that particular set of figures very well. But she didn't crash the metagame. She didn't destroy it. But her existence, what it did was it had a profound effect on how the game was starting to be played. A lot of people started looking at it and going, I have to be careful to not fall under the copycat trap. And then all of a sudden, a lot of teams you became less likely to have a character who was just a base 100 points on your team. Because all of a sudden, if copycat's on the other side of the board, well, FML, right? So, I say this because the conversation exists. And it does affect the game, even though you might not see the character make a great deal of noise. Another example of this, Highfather, even after the watch list, we'll say. But before the watch list, you were now officially unable to play a one-man army. Why? Well, if somebody plays Highfather, they're going to get the opening shot on you. Or if you played a tent pole with just support characters, they kill your support characters. Well, I'm sorry, bad news, you've just lost the game. Now, Highfather plays a different role in the game. He can still do the pact, but he doesn't really crush players. You're kind of stuck with their biggest character out there on the board. So, you kind of get what I'm getting at with that, right? But Highfather has only really been seen in one or two ROC make a big splash, and that's alongside another character who stops the ability to do damage in Captain Marvel Prime. The one from Guardians of the Galaxy. Here's another thought. A lot of people are playing Proxima Midnight. There is a character that can completely turn her around and make her practically worthless. And that's Mentor. He's got a trait that stops characters with the Black Order keyword from having a trait. Do you know who relies on their traits a lot? Proxima Midnight. If she doesn't have any traits that she's allowed to use, all of a sudden, she doesn't have range attack, so she has Psychic Blast, which becomes worthless. The one time Mentor showed up, Proxima Midnight didn't show up there. But you kind of weigh out your options. How many people are really going to play Mentor? And this is one of those effects that you have that the bigger game can have. The conversation affects, what are the chances I'm going to play against this? What are the chances I'm going to play against this? What are the chances I'm going to play against... You kind of get where I'm going at, right? So, another more recent set of figures that has been making a lot of noise is the combination of the Kingdom Come Flash with his massive 17 movement with hypersonic, probability control, 19 defense with super senses, and 11 attack. Very formidable figure, and it's very hard. It's slightly more difficult to base because of his Kingdom Come team ability, carrying around a turtle. Now, the reason this figure works, or this combination is being talked about, is when Kingdom Come Flash picks up the turtle, he's not affected by the turtle because the turtle's off the board. He ends his movement. He doesn't take the extra action token. So the only problem he's going to run into is another turtle on the board, or an opposing turtle. All of a sudden, you got to think with the idea that the existence of turtle could happen. Is he going to win? Maybe not. But it could happen. Right? And that the conversation then starts to affect the game. Is this going to be a team that's going to show up? Maybe not. But am I going to have a team that can stop that? But is that team that's going to stop that going to be able to stop Highfather from stopping me? Is Highfather going to show up? Is Mentor going to affect my team? Is Copycat going to affect my team? Do you understand kind of where I'm going with this? This isn't the conversation about the counter meta. This is a conversation about the conversation about the counter meta. The conversation that's occurring is causing the extra thought. And then, are people going to play this team, or are people going to play to beat this team? And all of a sudden they got teams that might work against these teams, but might flounder against a team that you've come up with, for instance. So you got to think to yourself, well, if a team can beat this, what kind of effect are they going to have against my team that can do X, or my team that can do Y? So this is one of those thoughts that's kind of I've been looking at the greater game and saying, hey, this is something that could possibly be occurring, or something people could be thinking about. And, you know, it kind of does. So it's another thing to think about, guys, when you're thinking about, something to think about when you're thinking about building your teams for the greater metagame. See you guys next week.
The opinions and thoughts brought to you in Metafix are not meant for the casual game at the table. Married with Clix is proudly sponsored by Majestic's Comics, Collectibles, and Games, located in Costa Mesa, California, near the Orange County Fairgrounds. If you don't happen to live in the Costa Mesa, California area, though, you can check out their website, linked down below, majesticccg.com, where you can check out all kinds of stuff to shop for, their regular tournament listings if you happen to live in the area, or if you need to shop, they've always got some Heroclix stuff if you check out both their eBay store, which is linkable in the website, as well as their online store, which I believe should be having product added soon enough. Also, they keep regular articles written by some of the great minds in Heroclix, including Adam Friedman, the 2014 Heroclix Nationals champ, and of course, the owner of the store, Patrick Yabjoko, the 2014 Heroclix Worlds champ, 2014 Team Worlds champion, as well as the 2014 DragonCon ROC champion. Wow, that's quite a year he had last year. I think he's going to repeat it in 2015, right? So, don't forget to check the link down below, or check out the store if you live in the area.